So I did a video talking about the JBL Charge 3 and upgrading it from Connect to Connect Plus. And somebody came on in the comments, and a guy called I Don't Mod WTFZ came on in the comments and said, is JBL Charge 3 sounds better if you play it, and we're talking about a single Charge 3, if you play it with the Connect button on. So I thought, okay, I'll have a listen to that, because I hadn't really done an AB like that. And blow me, when I put the Connect button on, I get a little bit more of a sparkle, and I'm hearing a bit more of a treble. You know, the very thing that people complain about with the JBL Charge 3 back in that high end. I'm not saying it completely transforms it, but it does noticeably change it to my ears and to this guy's ears as well. It gives it a bit of sparkle and a bit of flavour. I like it. I prefer it with the Connect button engaged. So I thought, okay, are we just talking about the Charge 3? I tried it with the Flip 4 as well, and blow me, if you hit the, and I'm just to say again, I'm talking about playing a single speaker. You play the Flip 4, you hit the Connect button, it changes the nature of the sound. So I get a sparkly sound, which I like with the JBL Charge 3, and I'm getting a smoothing out of the obvious V shape here. So the JBL Flip 4 has the obvious high-end and low-end boost. It's a V shape, which sounds nice. It suits the speaker, but it's obviously slanted that way. You hit the Connect button, blow me, it's a bit smoother. Some of that high-end boost comes off, some of that low-end boost comes off. I think it sounds a bit smoother, a bit more like the Flip 3. So just to show you exactly what I'm talking about, this is what it sounds like.
You got a brother singing a brand new song. Yeah, it's you. Girl, I wake up in the morning and I'm tripping cause I'm digging what the Lord has made. It's you. Never thought I'd be forever getting with it, but I'm all so glad you stayed. It's you. You make it better. You got a brother singing a brand new song. Yeah, it's you. Girl, I wake up in the morning and I'm tripping cause I'm digging what the Lord has made. It's you. Never thought I'd be forever getting with it, but I'm all so glad you stayed. It's you. You make it better.
Y'all finally eating over there, we got a feast though. Keep it rap pack to the beat go. You might not get the flow now, let it seep though. Fans know my lyrics deeper than the sea flow, but we dumb it down so they spin it on the radio. Racism all up in them, that shit is irrelevant. My flow is colorblind, rapping for the hell of it. I don't give a. I heard y'all finally eating over there, we got a feast though. Keep it rap pack to the beat go. You might not get the flow now, let it seep though. Fans know my lyrics deeper than the sea flow, but we dumb it down so they spin it on the radio. Racism all up in them, that shit is irrelevant. My flow is colorblind, rapping for the hell of it. I don't give a.
No, I can't stop. So baby, pull me close up in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Like the tattoo on your shoulder, pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole. No, I can't stop. So baby, pull me close up in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Like the tattoo on your shoulder, pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole.
You got a brother singing a brand new song. Yeah, it's you. Girl, I wake up in the morning and I'm tripping cause I'm digging what the Lord has made. It's you. Never thought I'd be forever getting with it, but I'm all so glad you stayed. It's you. You make it better. You got a brother singing a brand new song. Yeah, it's you. Girl, I wake up in the morning and I'm tripping 'cause I'm digging what the Lord has made. It's you. Never thought I'd be forever getting with it, but I'm oh so glad you stayed. It's you. You make it better.
Y'all finally eating over there, we got a feast though. Keep it rap packed to the beat go. You might not get the flow now, let it seep though. Fans know my lyrics deeper than the sea flow, but we dumb it down so they spin it on the radio. Racism all up in them, that shit is irrelevant. My flow is colorblind, rapping for the hell of it. I don't give a I heard y'all finally eating over there, we got a feast though. Keep it rap packed to the beat go. You might not get the flow now, let it seep though. Fans know my lyrics deeper than the sea flow, but we dumb it down so they spin it on the radio. Racism all up in them, that shit is irrelevant. My flow is colorblind, rapping for the hell of it. I don't give a
No, I can't stop. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Like the tattoo on your shoulder, pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole. No, I can't stop. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Like the tattoo on your shoulder, pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole.
So basically, just to confirm, I think what is really obvious when you're listening, with the Charge 3, you are getting mids and highs, you can't say boosted, but it's smoothed out. So relative to the lower end, the mids and the highs are increased. So it's kind of addressing exactly what has been a problem with the Charge 3, is the high ends don't sparkle. There isn't the clarity. You don't hear that high end in the way that is satisfying, and it's quite sweet. Hit the connect button and you immediately get that high end and high mids boost. So that's the first song without the connect button, with the connect button engaged. I mean, it's so obvious, and that's exactly what you hear. It really makes the sound kind of sparkle. I really like it with the connect button on. Second song, no connect button, with the connect button. So the mids and the highs, again, you're suddenly getting your mids and highs that we've been wanting. Third song, no connect, with connect. So it's consistent. From 1000 hertz onwards, you start getting an increase compared to the lower end of the spectrum. With connect, no connect. And with the fourth song, no connect, with connect. So you're getting more sparkle. It sounds sweeter. I really like it with the connect button on. Moving over to the Flip 4. So clearly it's something to do with processing. It's not boosting exactly the same way on the Flip 4 as it did with the Charge 3. With the Charge 3s, it's where it was lacking. The mids, the high mids, and the high end. Now, the thing about the Flip 4, what everyone says, it's got an obvious boost in the low end and the very, very extreme high end. And lo and behold, no connect, with connect. Exactly what happens is the lower end, the bass, the actual bass, the lower end takes a hit, and otherwise it comes off a little bit. So it's like a 3 decibel difference there, 12 decibels. And with the connect, you're losing like 3 decibels. And the same with the high end. But relative to the mids get boosted. So it's smoothing out. So it seems to be just to do with the amount, probably processing the sound less when you're hitting the connect button, because it's doing other things at that time. It's trying to pair with another speaker. So it does look like the less it's processing the sound, I think it actually sounds a little bit better. I know, okay, some people are going to prefer it with the big bass on the Flip 4 and the high end, and it makes it sound clearer, but especially as you get to near the maximum, and this kind of tuning makes it sound a bit shrill, it smooths out the sounds. So with Connect, and it stays like this all through the volume steps, so it really does help it as you get to the high end, where it does sound, you know, a bit dodgy. It smooths it out. No Connect song 2 with Connect. So again, consistent. It's the bass is coming off a little bit, the highs are coming off a little bit, and the mids relative are filling out the sounds. So the third song, engage the Connect button, and you're losing a whole dollop of that high end. And the last song, no Connect with Connect. No Connect with Connect engaged. All the mids are coming out relative to the rest of the sound. So amazingly, you've got that option of embedding a sort of equalizer simply by hitting your Connect button. A 1 second hit on the button and you've changed the sound. However, what happens when you go to maximum volumes? So I was wondering, is the actual maximum volume changed at all? Is it a linear change? Do we still get the same changes at maximum volume? And it's not quite linear. I'll show you what I mean. So a little bit of a different story when you go to the maximum volume. I preferred the Chancery at low volumes, certainly with Connect engaged, but when you go to maximum volumes, I certainly think it sounds better without the Connect, because you lose some of the mid-range definition, some of the edge. Look, it's not great at maximum volume, of course. It sounds quite bad, but if you want to, out of interest, and if you want to listen to maximum volume, I do think it sounds better without Connect. But again, there is a difference. Once you engage the Connect, it does change the sound. And here you're seeing again, no Connect, but you gain at the very high end, but it's a bit shrill when you engage the Connect. Unchanges the bass peak. However, you do lose some of the roundness to the bass. There's this peak here at 600 Hertz going up to -17, past -17 decibels when you don't have the Connect engaged, but when you do Connect, you do lose some of that 600 Hertz, some of that, you know, which is lower mid-range. So you do lose something with it engaged, but it changes the sound. You may prefer it one way or the other. Look, as I said, is maximum volume. It don't sound good, but out of interest, if you want to play around with the Connect button, I think it sounds better without the Connect. However, at low volumes, I do think it sounds better with the Connect. Flip 4 different. I think with a Flip 4, it's a bit shrill at maximum volume, and it does smooth it out when you go to engage that Connect button. It does smooth out some of that high-end boost still, even at maximum volume. As you can see, again, the bass is slightly actually louder, maybe by 1 decibel with Connect engaged, a bit of a surprise. So it's a bit different than what it does at the lower volumes, but you do lose that high end boost. It does smooth it out. It does sound terrible, of course, but again, there is a difference. You get some more upper mids, you lose some of that high. I do prefer it. I think it sounds a bit smoother because it's so bad at maximum volume and it's a bit shrill and shrieky. It does smooth that out if you're going to listen at maximum volume. So still, even at maximum volume, although the maximum volumes aren't really any different, there's a difference in the sound with Connect engaged and without Connect engaged. And depending on the speaker you're using, you may prefer it with or without at maximum. Yeah, at maximum volume, it's kind of the Flip 4, I still prefer it with it engaged. Maximum volume, the JBL Charge 3 is getting a bit too shrieky, I think. As I said, you know, I'm not saying in any way either of them sound good at maximum volume. However, if you're playing around with the Connect button, and just for interest, yes, I think the JBL Charge 3 sounds better at low volumes with the Connect button on, and I prefer it with the Connect button off when you hit the maximum volumes. JBL Flip 4, I actually, look, the V shape is a fun sound. However, if you something a little bit more relaxing, not in your face, you do have the option of hitting that Connect button, as crazy as it seems, and even at maximum volumes, I do prefer it with the Connect button engaged. So I think it's quite obvious that it's down to the sound being less processed as it's having to do other things. So it's listening out for the other speakers to pair with, a little less processing going on, and actually you've got the option. I think the JBL Charge 3, I do like it with the Connect button engaged at normal listening volumes. So there you have it. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying I've come up with the idea. I don't mod. WTF said he said it to me, and absolutely agree. And actually, it seems I've only got these Connect Plus, but I don't know if all the others do that. But certainly on the Flip 4 and the Charge 3, it changes the sound, and it's a nice option to have. Hope you got something out of that as usual, and thank you for watching.
UK